But let's move on to these domestic terrorist attacks that are happening all across the country in a coordinated way towards Tesla dealerships. Here's the latest one coming out of Nevada that literally got firebombed by Molotov cocktails. These are attacks that are being carried out in a coordinated and sophisticated way in order to maximize political impact. It's quite literally domestic terrorism. And just recently, a rogue website just went live that literally shows the name, phone number, address of Tesla owners all across the United States, doxing their information. And they say the only way they'll remove somebody from this registry is if they can provide proof that they sold their Tesla. The left is getting so deranged, so radical, so violent that even CNN is forced to admit that this is actually domestic terrorism. Watch.
Speaking of which, the AG is calling this domestic terrorism. You mentioned the fact that if it is politically based, in other words, you're doing it because of a political message. So when you look at this scenario, could she actually go after anyone who is caught burning up a Tesla?
So I don't think anyone who's caught burning up a Tesla, but I think when you have this type of approach, where it seems to be that Teslas are on fire, they're blowing up, there are signs that say, defy or what have you, it presents a problem. Every case, Sarah, is a fact-by-fact inquiry, depending upon the facts, the circumstances, the nature of the offense. But when you have wholesale destruction, no matter what you think about Elon Musk, whether you're a fan or not a fan, the issue is, are you, in terms of domestic terrorism, let's define it, are you doing through an act of destruction or violence something that is designed to intimidate or influence people, the civilian population?
So because it's CNN, he couldn't just come out and blatantly directly say that it is domestic terrorism, because then they'd be speaking to their own audience, calling them terrorists. But he basically spelled it out in every way you can without directly saying it, that yes, what these people are doing is, to the definition, terrorism. They are trying to coerce political action or political changes using threats and violence. And this is entirely the fault of the Democrat media and Democrat politicians. Once again, they refuse to hear Trump when he says, we aren't cutting Social Security, we aren't cutting Medicaid, and we aren't cutting Medicare. What we are going to look at is the inefficiencies, the fraud and the abuse, and see if we can cut that out so the people who actually need these services can receive them in a more efficient way, because there won't be all this abuse. They keep saying Donald Trump is trying to give tax breaks to the rich and make all his billionaire friends richer. But then they also say Donald Trump's going to kill off millions of people and force millions of people to be homeless and sick because of these cuts. Well, how are these rich people going to get richer if Donald Trump makes everybody who buys their stuff poor and can no longer afford to spend their money? Both things don't work at the same time, and they don't care that there's a logical flaw in their argument.